Hello, friends and fans. This is Mrs. Goblin, and I'm on a journey, traveling the U.S. as well as other countries, so that I can not only work, but also play in this expansive and exhilarating world of ours. I want to bring my experiences to you, so you can enjoy the beauty, intrigue, and dynamic mix of cultures our world has to offer. I will drive, fly, ride bikes and horseback. I will scuba and raft to wherever I possibly can, so that we can all truly embrace the adventure and exciting opportunities that are available to all of us who wish to endeavor in them. So put on your walking or hiking shoes, don your swimsuit and fins, wear your headgear and PFDs, or just sit back and relax while I take you with me on some awesome adventures. Please feel free to also like, share, and subscribe to my channel so that I can continue to spread the wonder. Let's take a hike, jump off a cliff, soar over the treetops, or dive under the waves of the ocean and get this thing rolling. And come along with Mrs. Goblin while she travels. The National Memorial for Peace and Justice documents the most active era of racial terror lynchings between 1877 and 1950. However, racially motivated violence and lynchings continued after 1950, often targeting early movement leaders and black peoples whose success challenged white supremacy. The 24 names on this water monument represent men and women lynched or killed in a racially motivated attack during the 1950s. Their deaths sparked protests and activism that fueled more than a decade of social change. We remember them here for their leadership, their humanity, and their role in a long and continuing struggle. Through extensive research, they have records documenting 4,400 racial terror lynchings in the post-Reconstruction era between 1877 and 1950. These victims are represented in this display of soil specimens from the sites of where the lynchings occurred. EJI promotes communities throughout the U.S. to gather soil specimens from known lynching sites and memorialize and honor the life lost. Each jar is engraved with the name of the lynching victim and location if the name is known. Unknown would be placed on those jars where the name is not known, but the location is documented. The Peace and Justice Memorial was built on 6 acres in the downtown area of the state capital near the former market site in Montgomery, where enslaved African Americans were sold. By 1860, Montgomery, Alabama was not only Alabama's capital, but also the capital of slave trade. Artists have rendered sculptures that are on display here. Kwame Akoto Bamfo created a cast concrete multi-figure standalone monument to the transatlantic slave trade entitled Ni Kayen Kim installation. This work represents 7 semi-nude Africans who are enchained for the harrowing journey from the interior to the coast for transportation across the Atlantic. This memorial evokes the horror of slavery through the figures' anguished expressions, chained necks and manacled hands and feet, and simulated slashed backs. The most sorrowful of these depictions is a chained young mother holding a screaming baby as she reaches across to an older standing male figure. Equal Justice Initiative was organized as a commitment to ending mass incarceration and excessive punishment in the United States, to challenging racial and economic injustice, and to protecting basic human rights for the most vulnerable people in American society. Ann Stevenson, a widely acclaimed public interest lawyer and best-selling author of Just Mercy. EJI is a private nonprofit organization that provides legal representation to people who have been illegally convicted, unfairly sentenced, or abused in state jails and prisons. The Peace and Justice Memorial was opened and funded by the Equal Justice Initiative on April 26, 2018. It is meant to open the discussion of the injustice of slavery and the profound effects it has on all Americans of all races. To rise above these past and even present beliefs of superiority within the races, we have to face its injustice and acknowledge it. In their memorial square, there are over 800 of these Corten steel monuments, one for each county in the United States where a racial terror lynching took place. The names of the lynching victims are engraved on the columns. The memorial is more than a static monument. It is EJI's hope that the National Memorial inspires communities across the nation to enter an era of truth-telling about racial injustice and their own local histories. next artistic installation, called Guided by Justice and created by Dana King, depicts 3 women: a grandmother, a teacher, and a pregnant woman. These statues are representatives of those who walked during the 13-month Montgomery bus boycott in 1955 and ended with the U.S. Supreme Court ruling that segregation on public buses is unconstitutional. Footprints on the ground near the 3 people represent a call to action for others to join them in the cause. The tribute reflects the struggles and triumphs made in the pursuit of racial equality. Rise Up, created by Hank Willis Thomas, depicts 10 black men encased in concrete, some with their heads sunken into the concrete with their hands up and their eyes closed. This artist's rendering highlights the reality of black men in America when coming face to face with law enforcement. I visited the Peace and Justice Memorial while on assignment with the local hospital. I will emphasize the fact that it was just prior to Juneteenth that I was there. It wasn't intentional. These types of memorials are difficult, as they evoke such a deep sadness and feelings of outrage. From the videos in their theater showing poignant interviews with prisoners from the Alabama prison system, to the various artistic renderings of the black men and women's plight that are not so distant in our past. My time at the Peace and Justice Memorial was not only educational, but it revealed the brutality and atrocities that mankind visits upon one another. Until we can eradicate racism, bigotry, and hatred from our hearts, then we must always be aware and not become complacent about the injustice and brutality that has and will occur. I thank the Equal Justice Initiative and the Memorial for bringing these truths out publicly and reverently. If you enjoyed my video today, feel free to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and pass on the information to all your friends and family. Thank you.